The last topic
Relative velocity.
was relative velocity. Relative velocity in 1D. So we know how to calculate relative velocity. Relative velocity of one body with respect to another is simply VA minus V. Now, in NCRT, the type of questions based on relative velocity use one more concept, and that is the concept of cross and overtake. So I'm discussing three problems on cross and overtake. These three problems will clarify this concept, the concept of cross and overtake. Let's start with example one. You have a car A and a car B. You have two cars, a car A and a car B. The separation between car A and car B is 100 meter. Car A is moving with a velocity of 10 meter per second. The velocity of car A is 10 meter per second. You're supposed to calculate time taken by car A to cross car B. So you just have to calculate the time taken by car A to cross car B. So to cross car B, this car A have to cover a displacement of 100 meter. The velocity of car A is 10 meter per second. Time is not given. And if there is no information about acceleration, that means acceleration is zero. There is no information about acceleration, means acceleration of the body is zero. To calculate this time, either you can use this relation, S is ut plus half AD square. If you substitute A equal to 0 in this equation, then you're left with just S is equal to ut. Or you can write your U as S by T. So it's simply displacement by time. So if acceleration is 0, instead of using this equation ut plus half AD square, you can directly use U is equal to S by T. So your time would be S by T. So from now onwards, whenever acceleration is 0, instead of using this complete equation, I will simply write velocity is displacement by time. But if your acceleration is non-zero, then you cannot use this equation. If you have some acceleration, then you have to use this equation. So your time is displacement upon velocity. So that's 100 by 10. So your time comes out to be 10 seconds. So in an interval of 10 seconds, this A will cross B. So is it clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Any doubts?
Yes, sir.
No.
Let's start with example number 2. If instead of rest, this car B starts moving. If instead of rest, this car B starts moving. This is car A. It's moving with a velocity of 10 meter per second. And this is car B. This car B is not at rest. It's itself moving with some velocity of 2 meter per second. Just a second. Distance between them is 100 meters. Distance between A and B is 100 meters. Okay, now can you guess? Again, I have to calculate time taken by car A to cross B. Noor, Fazil, this Mohammed Rizwan is your classmate?
No, sir.
Yes. Noor, Fazil, is there any Mohammed Rizwan your classmate?
No, sir. No.
So you need to calculate time taken by car A to car B. Now, can you guess the time taken by car A to cross this car B would be less than 10 seconds, or it would be greater than 10 seconds or equal to 10 seconds if car B is moving? If car B is moving, then time taken by car A to cross car B would be 10 seconds only, greater than
Great.
less than 10 seconds.
Greater.
So all agree that would be greater than 10 seconds. This is very obvious. Huh? Say if you have a car, that car is at rest and you're running with certain speed, you cross that car in 10 seconds. But if that car starts moving, then to cross car B, this car A have to travel a distance which is greater than 100 meters. So it's very obvious that now time should be greater than 10 seconds. Okay, now tell me, now it's a one body problem or it's a two body problem? One body or two body problem means only car A is moving or both the cars are moving.
Two body.
It's a two body problem. Both the cars are moving. This two body problem is comparative tough because you have to calculate displacements of both the cars. So to solve this problem, we can use a very simple trick, and that simple trick is of relative velocity. Using relative velocity, you can reduce this two body problem into one body problem.
We'll place it.
Sorry, Sania, what? We can
We
convert.
will place it like 10 plus 2.
No, we won't replace it. You see, if your observer is on ground, with respect to this observer, both A and D are in motion, right? If your observer is on ground, then with respect to this observer, both A and D are moving. Sania, what if I place this observer on B? If observer is on car B, then he will observe both the cars in motion or just one car in motion? Sania.
Sir, can you repeat again?
Say, two cars are moving, a car with a velocity of 10 meter per second and another car with a velocity of 2 meter per second. And there is one observer on the ground. He observed that both the cars are moving with certain velocity. It's moving with 10 meter per second, it's moving with 2 meter per second. But if I put this observer on car B, so with respect to this observer, both the cars in motion or just one of them is in motion? Sania.
One is in motion.
Which one is in motion? A or B? Sania. If your observer is on car B, then which one of the car is in motion with respect to this observer?
Car B.
Okay. If you sit in a car, then that car is in motion with respect to you or is at rest?
Sir,
Yes.
a new student from our class is trying to enter the meeting.
Okay. So Rania is one.
Yes.
Okay. So if your observer is on ground, then you will observe both the cars in motion. Like A is moving with a velocity of 10 meter per second and B is moving with a velocity of 2 meter per second. But if you place this observer on car B, then with respect to this observer, car B is at rest, right? If you are sitting in a car, then with respect to you, that car would be at rest. So if observer is on car B, then B is at rest with respect to this observer. And A will move with velocity. A will move with velocity VAB, right? Because if your observer is on car B, then he will observe the relative velocity of A with respect to B. Is it clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Because if I try to solve this problem using this observer on ground, it's a tough problem. Two bodies are moving, it's a two-body problem if I consider observer on the ground. But if I place this observer on car B, then car B will come to rest with respect to this observer. So instead of two-body problem, it's just a one-body. So one-body problem. Only A is moving. But now A is not moving with 10 meter per second. A is moving with a velocity VAB. So Fatma Sharif, how would you calculate VAB? We did this thing in the last class. How would you calculate velocity of A with respect to B? Fatma Sharif.
VA minus VB.
VAB minus VB. Fatma Farhana. How much is VA?
10 meter per second.
10 meter per second. What about VB?
2 meter per second.
Is it 2 or minus 2?
Minus 2.
It's minus 2 meter per second. So VAB would be 8 meter per second. Okay, Noor, can you just calculate the distance that car A need to travel to cross B? The displacement covered by car A to cross car B. Can you calculate that displacement, or is it given in the numerical? No,
It's given 100 meters.
it's 100 meter, right? Because say both the cars in motion, so the distance between the car will increase. But once you put your observer on car B, then with respect to this observer, your B will come at rest. So this problem is like this car B is at rest and this is moving with a velocity of VAB. So to cross this B, the displacement is 100 meter. To cross this B, A will cover a displacement of 100 meter. So you can simply write your VAB as SAB divided by T naught. So your T is SAB divided by VAB. So your SAB is 100, your VAB is 8. So if I cancel this is 4, 2 and 25, this comes out to be 12.5 seconds. So as expected, now your time is greater than that of 10 seconds. So whenever you have two body problems, both the bodies are in motion, then instead of solving with respect to an observer on ground, always solve with respect to an observer which is on one of the car. You can solve it with respect to an observer on B. You can as well solve this with respect to an observer on. Now do one thing. Repeat the same calculation assuming that your observer is in it. It will further clarify your concepts. Repeat same problem with respect to observer on it. Same problem you have to repeat with respect to an observer which is on car A. You know the answer should be same answer. The time will not depend upon the observer. Just try it. Oh, okay. Rania, it's your first class with me. Yeah? Have you done this kinematics somewhere? Rania is one.
No, sir.
Have you done kinematics somewhere?
No.
Rania, you're not audible. You can even use chat room if you have issue with mic. You can just use chat room. Have you done kinematics chapter number 3 somewhere?
Hello.
Yeah, now you.
Okay.
So have you done chapter number 3 somewhere in school or in some tuition classes?
No, sir. I'm new student in IXIS.
Okay, you're a new student. Okay, Rania, so continue with this class after uh, in your time zone it's 6 na? It's 6 or 6? It's 6.
Okay.
Now in your time, what's the time there?
6:20.
6:20. Okay, so it's 6 to 8 time. So after 8 p.m. I will start a backup class with you with Rania and Fatima. So try to just follow whatever I am doing in this class. At the end of this class, I will start a backup. Whatever you have missed, we will start doing it.
Okay.
At least for the next 1.5 hours. Maybe you don't get physics, but you will at least follow the calculations. The calculations that I am doing, try to follow those calculations. You may have some issues with physics because of first class, but try to follow all calculations. And the rest, answers. Did you get the same answer by putting your observer on car A?
No, sir.
Not getting.
The answer is actually minus.
Answer is just report your answers in chat room. Whatever the answers you are getting by placing your observer on car A. Place your observer in car A, repeat the calculation and report your answer in chat room. Whatever be the answer you are getting, just put that answer in chat room. Even it is negative, positive, whatever you are getting, just put your answer in chat. That answer will give me an idea how, okay, what mistake are you made? Fine. No, you are making a very generic mistake of sign convention. Okay, Sania, you're again making. Sania, you too is making mistake in sign convention. Fazil, yes, Fazil is correct. Fatma?
Yeah, sir. Got the answer.
So let's solve the same problem for an observer. Fatima Sharif got the same answer. Great. And Fatima Farhana, what's your answer? If you aren't getting anything, just write I'm not getting anything. See, I can't see your faces, so only your answers helps me to decide you're getting it or not. So see, this is 10 meter per second and this is 2 meter per second. And the distance between them is 100 meter. So I just put this observer on car A. So whatever we will calculate with car A. Let's consider this direction as positive. So velocity of A with respect, I'm considering this direction as positive. So now, when I consider this direction as positive, this car, when I put observer on car A with respect to observer on A is at rest or in motion? If I put an observer on A, then with respect to this observer, A is at rest or in motion? What do you think?
Yes. Yes.
Rest.
A is at rest. So which one is moving?
B.
In which direction? To the right hand side or to the left hand side?
Right.
Right hand side.
Right hand side. If B moves in right hand side, can it cross A?
Left hand side.
Left hand side. So this problem is, okay, first solve it mathematically, then we'll see how physically you can conclude it. So let's put an observer on it. So what you will calculate, VAB or VBA?
VBA.
VBA.
So that will be VB minus VA. So here both are acting in the right hand side direction, so both are positive. So let's say this VB is positive, it's 10. Your VA is again positive, it's 2. So that's 8 meter per second. So that's VBA, which is 8 meter per second. Earlier too, it was 8 meter per second. Hey, just a second. It's VB minus VA, so it's 2 minus 10. So that's 2 minus 10, which is minus 8 meter per second. So VBA is negative. What it means? With respect to this observer, car B is moving to the right hand side or it's moving to the left hand side?
Left.
With respect to this observer, car B is moving to the left hand side.
Left.
It's a very common observation. If you are traveling in a car, your car is traveling with a very high speed. Then you observe that all cars on the road, which are obviously having speed or velocity less than that of yours, will appear to move in opposite direction. Instead of moving forward, those cars appears to move in backward direction. Common observation, right? If you're moving on a road and your car is very fast, let's say this is 200 meter per second, and these cars are traveling at 50 meter per second. So it seems that these cars are moving in opposite directions. These cars are not traveling in this direction. It seems they are moving in opposite direction. It's due to the fact that when you are sitting in this car is at rest with respect to you. This is at rest with respect to you, and this seems to move in opposite direction. This is what happened in train exactly. Say if a train is at stationary on a platform, then obviously everything on platform appears to be at rest with respect to you. But once the train starts moving, what happens? The things on the platforms appears at rest or they appear to move. What happens when the train starts moving on the platform?
It means to move backwards.
To be at rest or it appears to move?
Move.
In which direction? In the direction of motion of train or in opposite direction?
Opposite direction.
Opposite direction.
Opposite direction. This is which is happening here. When you place your observer here, then this car comes at rest with respect to this observer. So he will observe that B is actually moving in opposite direction, which is given by this negative sign. Next, we have to calculate displacement of B with respect to. So to cross A, B will move to the right hand side or to the left hand side?
Left hand side. Left.
B will move to the left hand side. Means how much distance will this B cover to cross A?
Minus 1.
Since it will move in this direction, the displacement it will cover is to the left hand side. But we have considered the right hand side to be positive. So I am taking this as minus.
Minus 100.
The reason of taking minus 100 is because it's moving in backward direction with respect to this observer. Now again, your time is displacement divided by velocity. So it's minus 100 minus 8. So that's again 12.5. So Fazil, you were making a mistake in this sign convention. Maybe you were taking plus 100. And Sania, you were adding these two quantities. Instead of subtracting, you were adding 2 and 10, right?
Yeah, sir. Yeah.
Fatma and Fazil were correct.
I wrote 12.5.
Sorry?
No, sir.
Okay, just note it down. Then we'll do one more example on the same concept. Then we'll come to the problems of NCERT. So let me know when you have written, I will rub it.
Done, sir.
Okay. So let's erase this. Okay, so I'm erasing it. Fatma, Fazil, written.
Yes, sir.
Let's do. So when the car B was at rest, car A takes 10 seconds to cross it. When B starts moving in the same direction, car A took 12.5 seconds. Let's do one more thing. And this time you people will calculate. Now B is moving towards A. with 2 meter per second. So Fatma Farhana, can you guess the time taken will be greater than 10 seconds or less than 10 seconds in this case? When B was at rest, car A takes 10 seconds to cross B. But if B is moving towards it, the time will be greater than 10 seconds or less than 10 seconds?
Less than 10 seconds.
Calculate time taken by B, car B, to cross it, or A to cross B. That's the same. You'll get the same answer. Put your observer on B. Do your calculation and answer. Report your answer in chat room. Put your observer on car B. Do your calculation. Report your answer in chat room. And Fatma Farhana, this time, whatever answer you are getting, please report that in chat. Okay. Fazil, you are again making some mistake. It should not be 12.5 this time. You're making mistakes in sign convention.
Sir, car B is at rest or?
Car B is at rest when your observer is on B. Otherwise, it's moving with 2 meter per second. So when you calculate relative velocity, it will be -2. It's moving in opposite direction. When you calculate VAB, it will be VA minus VB. Your VA will be 10 and your VB will be minus of. Okay, Fazil. Fatma, answers. So if I consider VAB, yes, Fatma, you are correct. That's 10 minus -2. So your VAB comes out to be 12 meter per second. So that's relative velocity of A with respect to B. And relative displacement, obviously I have to cover a displacement 100 meter to cross it. So your velocity of A with respect to B is simply displacement covered by A with respect to B divided by time. So your time is displacement of A with respect to B divided by VAB. So we can write this time is displacement, which is 100 by 12. So it comes out to be
8.3333.
8.33. So 8.3 seconds. That's the final answer. So is it clear? This cross and overtake. Because these problems are basic problems. The problems that are given in NCERT are quite advanced. A single problem will use all these three problems that we have discussed. So can I erase it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's start solving NCERT now. So I'm taking some questions from NCERT. Just 2 minutes. So we'll do 2 problems from NCERT of this topic. Let's start with question number 3.8. Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So no need to write the question, just write question number. You must be having NCERT with you. So the question says, on a 2-lane road, car A is traveling with a speed of 36 km per hour. So let's say this is car A. It's traveling with a speed of 36 km per hour. So let's say this is VA. Then 2 cars B and C approach car A in opposite directions with a speed of 54 km each. At a certain instant, B decides to overtake A. So this is car B. This is car B. This car B is traveling with a velocity VB. And this is car C. C is traveling with a velocity VC. So this is VB, this is VA, and this is VC. The distance between B and A is 1 kilometer. And same, the displacement between A and C is again 1 kilometer. So see, VA is given, VA is 36 kilometer per hour. So how would you convert kilometer per hour into meter per second?
Multiply
5 by 18.
18.
Multiplied by 5 by 18. So if I multiply it by 5 by 18, it comes out to be 10 meter per second. Similarly, B and C, VB and VC are equal. VB is equal to VC, both are 54 kilometer per hour. 54 into 5 by 18, so that's 3, so it's 15 meter per second. It's 15 meter per second. At a certain instant, when the distance AB is equal to AC, both being 1 kilometer. When distance AB and BC are equal, both being 1 kilometer, B decides to overtake before C does. So the question says, this car A is A, B, and C. They are moving with certain velocities. Car C is moving in this direction, that moving in opposite direction. So car B decides to overtake A before C overtakes A. So in this numerical, first you have to calculate time taken by C to cross A. Then we will calculate the acceleration of car B. We will do this problem in steps. First we will calculate time taken by C to cross A. This problem is same as example 3 that we have done recently. Time taken by C to cross A. I put my observer on car A. So we will first need VCA, velocity of C with respect to A. So VCA is VC minus VA. For sign convention, I'm taking this direction as positive. So if I'm taking this direction as positive, Fatma Farhana, VA would be positive or negative. If I'm taking right hand side to be positive, then VA is positive or negative? Fatma Farhana, if I'm taking right hand side to be positive, then VA is positive or negative?
Negative.
See, which direction is positive? Right one.
Negative.
And this VA is acting in positive direction or in negative direction?
Negative.
See, Fatma, just look at this diagram. I'm taking
No,
right.
positive.
I'm asking.
Positive.
See, VA is in the direction, positive direction. So it's positive. It's VA is plus 10 meter per second. Fatma Farhana. Now tell me, VC is positive or negative?
Negative.
Why?
Because it's moving backward.
Opposite to the direction that we have considered positive. Huh? We have considered right hand side to be positive. It's moving to the left hand side, so it's negative. So how much is it? It's minus of 15 meter per second. That's minus 15 meter per second. So Fatma, how much distance this C would cover to cross a displacement? It's clear in the diagram. How much displacement would C cover to cross a? Fatma Farhana.
1 kilometer.
1 kilometer. It would be plus 1 kilometer or minus 1 kilometer.
Plus.
Try not to be wrong this time. It's moving to the left hand side, right?
Yeah, minus.
So whatever the displacement it will cover to the left hand side. So it should be minus of 1 kilometer. So I'm converting this in meter, minus 1000. So let's substitute these values. I need some space. Yes, so is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Minus 1000. So now I have to calculate time taken to cross. So there is no acceleration involved. So I can write this VCA as SCA divided by T. So the time taken by car C to cross A is SCA by VCA, or you can simply write this as minus 100 over VCA, but I have to calculate VCA first. So how much is VCA? It's VC minus VA. VC is minus 15, VA is 10, so it's minus 25 meter per second. If I substitute these values minus 25, it comes out to be 4 T seconds. So this is time taken by C to cross A. I'm not considering acceleration of C and A because not given. The accelerations are not given. There is no information about the acceleration. So that means accelerations are 0. Is it clear up to this point?
Yes, sir.
Now B will overtake it before C. Before C does. So this C will cross A in 40 seconds. So how much time B should overtake A? In question is saying that B will overtake A before C does. So how much time this B would take to overtake A?
Less than 40 seconds.
Less than 40 seconds. Great. So let's write this as in this way. Time taken by B to cross A, not cross, to overtake. To overtake A is less than 40 seconds. So less than 40 seconds means even 39.99 is enough. So I'm assuming it to be 40 seconds. Just less than 40 seconds means even in 39.99 seconds it can overtake. So I'm just assuming it's almost to be 40 seconds. So it could be 39.99 seconds that I'm assuming it to be 40 seconds. Okay. Now let's start with the sign convention. So here VB is, how much is VB? VB is, what's the velocity of VB? Puzzle?
15 meter per second.
Okay. I'm considering this direction as positive. So we can take VB as plus 15 meters per second. What about VC? Not VC, I don't need VC, I need VA. So Fazil, how much is VA?
Positive 10 meter per second.
10 meter per second. Now what would you calculate? You will calculate B with respect to A or A with respect to B? Your observer is in A.
VBA.
Right. Calculate VB. So your VBA will be VB minus B. So your VBA is VB, which is 15 minus 10. So that's 5 meter per second. So this is velocity of B with respect to. Just like this, you can write SBA. So Noor, how much is displacement of B with respect to A?
1000 meters.
How much?
1000 meters.
Plus or minus? Plus or minus? See, I'm considering this direction as positive. So to overtake A,
Plus.
you will move in positive direction. So it's plus. Acceleration of A is 0, but acceleration of B is that you have to calculate. That's unknown. I will need relative acceleration B with respect to A, which is AB minus AA now. So that's AB minus 0. That's AB. So your ABA is AB. To calculate displacement, use this equation. S is, to calculate acceleration, use this equation. S is ut plus half AD square. So it's B with respect to A, it's B with respect to A, it's B with respect to A. Just put values in this equation and get the value of AB. Note it down and get the value of AB. Just substitute these values and get the value of AB. Rane, are you following the calculations? One. Okay.
Sir,
Yes, Sania, you got 1 meter per second square, right?
yeah. Sir, can you explain this again, the starting part?
The whole question?
No, the starting part only.
This one.
Yeah.
See, you have 3 cars, car B, A, and C. Car A and car C are moving in exactly opposite directions. And car B is moving in the same direction as that of car A. So the question says, this C tries to cross A, but before this C, B overtakes A. So you have to velocity of B so that B overtakes A before C does. Are you getting it? So B
Yeah.
increase its speeds in a way so that it overtake A before C does. So what we do, we first calculated the time taken by C to cross A, and that comes out to be around some 40 seconds. So now B have to overtake A before C, so obviously B will take some time which is less than 40 seconds. So less than 40 seconds could be 39.999, so I just approximate it to be 40. Then I put my observer on A, calculated everything with respect to A, and just substituted this in this equation. Is it clear now, Sania?
Yes, sir.
Rani, are you following the calculations?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, just substitute all values here and get the value of AB. Rania, just substitute all values here and try to get the value of AB. These calculations are basic algebra. So Fazil got the right answer. Noor, you are making some mistakes. Sania got the right answer. Fatma Sharif, Fatma Farheen. Substitute these values and get the value of AB. Arania, you too. You may not be getting physics, the logic behind these calculations, but at least you must follow the calculation, this multiplication and division. Just substitute all values here and get the value of AB. If you follow the three numericals, then in the fourth numerical, we'll start getting things. Yes, no, you are correct. Fatma, answers. So can I erase this starting part, Fatma? Okay, Rania got 1 meter per second square. Good. So if I substitute all values here, SBA is 1000. Velocity of B with respect to A comes out to be 5. Time is 40 plus half. Your acceleration is B and it's 40 square. Very good. All are getting the right answer. So 1000 is 200 plus it's AB into 400. 440 square is 1600. It's 800, right? 800 AB. So your AB, right, comes out to be 1 meter per second square. So in NCERT, almost all problems on relative velocity in 1D will use these concepts of cross and overtake. So all were getting the right answer. So can I erase it now? Can I erase it now?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now you have 2 questions for homework. This question number 3.5 of NCERT. This question 3.7. In fact, 4 questions, not 2. 3.9. And there is one more question, and that is yes, this one 3.18. 3.18 of NCERT. All these 4 questions are based on the same